most in the Covenant, the position of Arbiter was one of shame, a punishment for warriors who, while disgraced, could still serve the Covenant directly. As small penance for their sins, Arbiters were typically sent on suicide missions of great importance, where they would almost certainly be killed in the name of the Great Journey. However, this wasn't always the case, and at one point, the position of Arbiter was actually a Sangheili one of great respect. However, as we'll discuss today, the role was totally co-opted by the San Shum after their authority and the truth of the Great Journey was challenged by then Arbiter Fal Chavami. However, the truth is that the use of the Arbiter was not to punish those who committed acts against the Covenant, it was used to punish, and more importantly remove, those who challenged the political authority of the prophets. And that's an important distinction, because not only were outspoken Covenant typically killed, but their actions were veiled as affronts to the Covenant as a whole, hiding the fact that Arbiters were often only guilty of reasonably challenging the foundations of prophet rule. This relationship and the secret use of the Arbiter was described in a Halo 2 terminal. There, we see Sessa Refume, leader of the heretics who you kill in Halo 2 as the Arbiter, explain to Guilty Spark that the only elite within the Covenant who he would trust with the truth of the Great Journey was Thel 'Vadami, as 'Vadami valued the well-being of the Sangheili above even that of the Covenant and the Great Journey. So in other words, we have a strong-willed, extraordinarily influential non-prophet within the Covenant who harbors an elite-first mindset, which would directly threaten the prophets if exposed to the truth of the Great Journey. So it's unsurprising then that after his failure in Installation 04, he's turned into Arbiter. His influence immediately diminished, while his extraordinary skill can still be used. As we find out, the prophets were right to fear Thel 'Vadami. Even as Arbiter, he led to their downfall during the Great Schism. And when speaking to the heretic leader, Guilty Spark immediately recognizes that the use of the Arbiter is almost purely political.
I'm starting to fear that you're not very smart.
Mind your tongue, Oracle.
Oh, I mean no offense. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your species. How long have these prophets been anointing arbiters?
Since the fall of Fal Chavami, the first disgraced arbiter, roughly 400 years ago.
Incredible! And in all this time, it never occurred to you how convenient it was that your prophets were able to find a powerful, capable leader among your people, who happened to suddenly commit a terrible blasphemy every time the power structure of your covenant was threatened.
I do not understand.
You do little to dissuade my fears.
Then teach me.
Looking back at the record of the arbiters you've discussed, was it not surprising to anyone that those chosen to become arbiter were more than simple warriors?
How so?
Each of them had significant political influence among your people. In some cases, that influence was already being used to question the decisions of your hierarchs. In fact, that very questioning often gave rise to the charges of heresy that so neatly removed the challenger from the hierarch's concern.
Now, besides for Thel, we don't know a whole lot else about other Arbiters, but it's clear that Ripa Morami, the Arbiter in Halo Wars, and Fal Chavami from Halo Legends were openly questioning the hierarchs before their demotion. The Prophet's actions here are understandable, and despite their transparency, even intelligent. Their species only maintained leadership over the Covenant because of their political and religious authority, which was actually the unifying force keeping the entire empire together. The San Shum did not lead because of some physical or technological advantage, but rather because they presented themselves as, well, prophets of the gods and the holders of truth. What's more, the Great Journey itself also served as a unifying goal for the Covenant. So it's obvious why the prophets would try to shut down any dissenting voices, which challenged not only the base of their power, but also the purpose of the Covenant. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this brief Halo lore video. Is there something else you'd like me to cover? Let me know down in the comment section. But until next time, may the Force be with you.